After I checked off the 1954 Star is Born, I said I would do this one, so here we are again, back to musicals. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. Today I will be checking the Judy Garland film Meet Me in St. Louis off the 1001 movie checklist. If you do not know what the 1001 movie checklist or 1000 movie challenge is, it is basically a challenge I've given myself to check every single film off the 1001 movies you must see before you die book. So far, I have checked 175 films off the list. If you want to know more, there's a playlist up there with every single film I have checked off so far, and an intro video explaining the entire series. As always, let's get started with a short summary. In the year leading up to the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, the four Smith daughters learn lessons of life and love as they prepare for a reluctant move to New York. As I always say in pretty much any of these, I'm not the biggest fan of certain genre of film, and in this case it is musicals and romance movies. This one was no exception, at least for the first, I would say, quarter of the movie. But as I started writing this and watching a little bit of clips back, I really started to enjoy myself and found myself thinking a lot about the film and some of the themes within it and some of the storylines as well, because it just resonated with me at certain points. It was like watching a rom-com that I actually really love and relating to the characters in a different way than I do to most rom-coms, which I usually find very fake and annoying. I mostly really related to Judy Garland's character of Esther and her crush on their neighbor John. Their entire storyline is a great example of what a real life crush scenario is, especially for young women and teenage girls. And I believe that Judy Garland is playing like a 17, 18-year-old girl in this because they say she is a senior, so I'm gonna guess she's a senior in a senior in high school. But just some examples of that are when she's coming down for the party to meet John for the first time. She is standing at the top of the stairs composing herself before coming down to the party and greeting all of her friends and the guests, ignoring John the entire time before her brother introduces them, and she just makes it seem like she's the life of the party to see if he'll notice her. And if you watch closely, which I did not notice when I was watching this movie the first time, but when I was watching some clips back, you do notice that John sees her out of the corner of his eye and he follows her as she's walking through the party and greeting friends. There's also that moment that most girls have with any guy that they have a crush on, and he says something like, in John's case, that the perfume Esther is wearing smells like the same perfume his grandma wears.
Say, that is nice perfume.
Do you like it?
Uh-huh.
It's essence of violet. I save it for special occasions.
Exactly the kind my grandmother uses.
Or saying that she has a very strong handshake for a girl.
And you know something else?
What?
You've got a mighty strong grip for a girl. Good night, Esther.
Good night, neighbor.
Which are two things, heads up guys, that you don't want to say to a girl that you like or that you think may like you and you think you may like them. It's just not something that you say to a girl anyways. It's called negging and it's not cool. But she gets very annoyed with him and you can tell, and I was just like, yes, I am there with you. I understand that feeling. And then my favorite part is the trolley song scene. One, the trolley song is a very fun song.
Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Zing, zing, zing went my heartstrings. From the moment I saw him, I fell.
But two, if you watch it, and you watch it from the perspective of a girl who has a crush on a guy and has done this before, and I know most girls out there have done this, especially when you're in a big group of friends and you know that your crush is going to be there, you pretend to be the coolest person there, you pretend to ignore everything that they're doing just to see if they'll notice you, just like what Esther did at the party. But this time, John promises to take the trolley with them to the fairgrounds. He misses the trolley, so Esther is kind of upset that she missed her chance to get to know him a little bit better. So she just sits and mopes on the trolley watching for him, and then when she finally sees him trying to catch up with the trolley, she makes herself the center of attention by singing along with the song and just ignoring John as he comes up to the second floor of the trolley to see see her, and then when she does see him, once the song is finished, she completely ignores him, and that is just, you know, real life. Even though this film is from 1950, I should know this, but 60 years later, whatever. I mean, this is set in 1904, so, I mean, 100+ years later, girls are still doing this. So, I don't think I've seen relationship crush building like this in any other movie or romantic comedy or romance movie. This movie just has such a real feeling to it. Something else this film does really well that is basically the foundation for the story of this film is the family dynamic. It is very strong, and you get that from the get-go. You know and understand that these, how many people are there? 2, 4, 6, 7 like family members plus their cook / maid and grandpa, so about 9 people. Yeah, this group of 9 people are just very, very close. They love each other. They know pretty much everything about each other, and they support each other in everything that they do. Things like everyone knowing that Rose is supposed to get a call from Warren that he is going to propose, even though he doesn't, and everybody knowing that pretty much except for their father, and then getting upset with him when he answers the phone and denies the call. But then he does end up saying, yes, Rose, answer the phone the next time it rings and it's Warren, and then they all get upset when he doesn't end up proposing.
Well, I'll bet there isn't another girl in St. Louis who's had a Yale man call her long distance just to inquire about her health.
And there's also the party scene where Tootie comes down and has a duet with Esther. Because they're such a tight-knit family, Rose already knows the key and the song. She asks Esther, and Esther's like, no, do it this way. And her and Tootie already have this whole routine planned out.
Now.
These are the things that they did back in 1904 because they didn't have phones, but also because they were such a close-knit family. Even the way that they tease each other feels very real.
Esther, is there anything wrong with you?
Yes, Mama.
Roses are red, John's name is Truett, Esther's in love, and we always knew it.
Mom, I refuse to stay here while my sister is humiliated by these ghastly children.
They're your sisters, too.
And then when their father announces that they are all moving to New York, everyone gets really upset with him and doesn't want cake. Grandpa doesn't want to play cribbage. And then once the mother and father start singing, everyone comes down and forgives each other. They all start eating cake. Grandpa starts setting up the cribbage game. You can see that they don't hold their grudges against each other because they are family and because they love each other so much. And then there's that moment in the film when Esther comes back from the dance and she sees Lottie waiting up for Santa Claus and comforts her with the fact that everything is going to be all right when they move to New York because they're all going to be together. When Lottie gets really upset with this and starts basically murdering her snowman, Lottie, their father, sees this and decides that they are not going to move to New York because they are stronger as a family in St. Louis.
I've got a few words to say. We're not moving to New York, and I don't want to hear a word about it. We're going to stay right here. We're going to stay here till we rot.
We haven't rotted yet, Lonnie.
For the clip, I was going to go with Judy Garland singing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay.
Because that is one of my favorite Christmas songs. But as soon as the scene that I did choose for the clip happened, I could not choose it.
Rose Smith, we can't go on like this any longer. I've positively decided we are going to get married at the earliest opportunity, and I don't want to hear any arguments. So that's final. I love you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Anna, who is that boy?
And And that's all I have for Meet Me in St. Louis. As always, these are just my opinions, but I'd love to know yours in the comments down below. What did you think of Meet Me in St. Louis? And let me know your favorite musical. If you want to know which films I have already watched or just follow my progress along in general, there is a link in the description to every single film I have checked off so far. I'm also an Amazon affiliate, so if you'd like to start the challenge for yourself, purchase the movie I talked about today, or get the movie I'm going to be talking about next time, there are links in the description. If you purchase anything from those links, I'll get a small percentage that'll help make this channel even better. For the next film, I wanted to get back to my roots, so I picked a film that was set and filmed at a university very, very close to my hometown, and the university is actually technically my alma mater, but it will also be having its 40th anniversary on July 20th, and that is Breaking Away. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate you, whoever you are. Let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I love talking comics, movies, TV shows, filmmaking, film history, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye!